Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Swinehart Field for Week 1 of the MHSAA playoffs for the NFHS Network. My name's Chris Wright, alongside my broadcast partner, Giovanni Moscheri. And Giovanni, we asked for it for a long time, but we finally have football weather.
Yes, and it's another lesson to always be careful what you wish for. A bit of a bite in the air tonight, but this is what football weather is all about. Under the lights here at Swinehart, it's going to be a fantastic playoff game.
Now, let's talk about the teams. First of all, Eisenhower, they're going to be without their Mr. Football candidate in Bryce Hurley last week. Had an injury against Clarkston. How do you think they bounce back?
Well, luckily, they've had a full week of practice to learn how they're going to be playing without their Mr. Football candidate. And that's no understatement to say his loss at the offense and defensive side, but having a week of practice is definitely going to help them get comfortable, reestablish themselves, and get fired up to face the Bulldogs tonight.
Now, I had a chance to talk with Coach Smith pregame. Let's see what he had to say. Coach, tough loss last week to finish the regular season. How has this week been in preparation and getting that out of your head?
Yeah, this week's been great. Kids have really been focused on the playoffs and just getting this thing started.
You're without Bryce Hurley. Who are you looking to step up in his absence?
Well, we got a lot of good athletes on this team, so I mean, there's a lot of guys that have been stepping up all year and are going to hopefully continue to step up today.
You saw this Romeo team earlier this year, but this is the first week of the playoffs. What are the keys to getting a win and moving forward?
Yeah, it's a rivalry game, so I mean, sometimes you got to throw out your plans, and it's going to be just a battle. And we know that. It always is with Romeo, especially being a first playoff game. So it's going to be an exciting game for the people in the stands and probably not so exciting for the coaches on both sides.
All right, Coach, good luck out there.
All right, thank you.
We thank Coach Smith for taking the time with us pregame. Now, Giovanni, on the other side of the ball, Romeo has been red hot over the last 3 weeks.
No doubt. Don't let the record fool you. They finished third place in the MAC Red, but this team has been hot recently. Their most recent victory, a 14-13 close win over previous AP ranked number 10 Grand Blanc, now knocking them down to the 14th spot. So they come into this game red hot, and I had a conversation with head coach Kurt Reines of the Romeo Bulldogs to see what he had to say about this game tonight. Coach, your team is coming into tonight on a hot streak with a big win against Grand Blanc. What has been the key to the recent success of the Bulldogs that you hope to bring here tonight?
Well, I think we had to start a lot of young kids this year, and it's just taken a while for them to kind of feel like they're in their own now. So.
And last time you faced Eisenhower, it was a 28-7 loss. How do you think your team has grown since then to now face them the second time here in the playoffs?
Well, I think we're starting to have a little bit of an identity now. Early in the year, we were still trying to figure kids out, and figure out what their strengths are, and I think we've kind of dialed that in a little bit now. So.
And tonight is the start of the playoffs. The stakes speak for themselves, and Eisenhower is no slouch as a first-time opponent. What do you have to do tonight to come out with a victory and keep your season alive?
Well, just like any game, whoever turns the ball over the most is probably going to lose the game. And our first time against them, they had a blocked field goal for a touchdown, a bobbled punt that they picked up and ran for a touchdown. And, whoever has those plays go against us is probably going to lose tonight. So we just got to play a clean ball game, keep their talent in front of us, don't let them get behind us, and try to have some ball control on offense.
Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And we thank Coach Reines for taking the time with us pregame.
Giovanni, it's Friday night. It's under the lights. You can't imagine a better night here. It is Romeo versus Eisenhower. First round of the playoffs coming up next.
Looking for a score, a schedule, a story? MHSAA.com has you covered. Our newly redesigned website has everything you need to follow high school sports in Michigan. And it's optimized for mobile use. Fans can submit scores on a Friday night, check playoff pairings and game times, or read about the student athletes from your community. Your first stop is MHSAA.com. Connect with us online and get everything you need all in one place.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Looking for a score, a schedule, a story? MHSAA.com
For the land of the free and the home of the
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back up to the press box. We are getting ready to kick this one off for my broadcast partner, Giovanni Macheri. I'm Chris Wright, and Giovanni, it is week one of the playoffs. It's November 1st, and we're still playing football.
It doesn't feel like November, just from the calendar's sake. It's cold enough to definitely feel like November, but this is playoff football. This is what the entire season that we've been covering here has been building up to, following the Eisenhower Eagles as they face off at home against a white-hot, not red-hot, a white-hot Romeo Bulldogs team. It's going to be a fantastic matchup here tonight to get things started in the playoffs.
Game time temperature, 49 degrees. It was just 75 yet last night on Halloween.
It's definitely starting to regulate a little bit. We're starting to get back to reality when it comes to the weather. But it's perfect football weather. You play with a little bit of the chill. It makes you toughen up a little bit. Who's going to be tougher tonight? As this one's going to be a physical battle. Romeo, notorious for playing physical. Eisenhower going to have to be able to stand up to that to come out with a win here tonight to continue their season. This playoffs is about who wants to keep playing football. It's a very short time that a lot of us get to play this sport in our lives, and they want to extend it as long as they can. That's what's on the line here tonight here at Swinehart.
The winner of this game will face the winner of Dakota versus Utica High School. They're playing at Dakota tonight. Romeo's going to get the kickoff to start the game. Both teams missing big weapons. Bryce Hurley for Eisenhower. Brody Meyer out tonight for Romeo. So we'll see how that balances each other out here. Kick is away. And it'll bounce right before the end zone and roll through the back. And they will start from the 20-yard line.
A bit of a low kick, had a horizontal spin to it. Looked like a UFO shooting across the sky to the back of the end zone, but that's going to set up the Romeo Bulldogs here. The offense has been the part of their team that has struggled a little bit throughout their season. The defense, especially recently, has held strong, holding Roseville to 19 and holding Grand Blanc to 13 in their past two games, but they've only scored 19 and 14 in those games, so the offense is going to have to definitely meet the skill and the performance of their defense.
Sammy Nepa, the quarterback, puts a man in motion, looking to throw. Going to throw right to the sideline. It's caught, and he'll be met immediately. Let's see, maybe gain of 1 or 2 there on the play, second down.
Number 11, Drake Vanderish, scored a touchdown in last week's game over Grand Blanc. And I want to re-emphasize that game. Grand Blanc was number 10 in the state at the time, according to the Associated Press, and able to beat them thanks to a touchdown by that fella right there. But a short gain to bring in the second down.
Breaking the huddle. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He's got a man in the backfield with him. He's going to fake the handoff, throw over the middle. It's caught. That is Jackson Swords, the tight end. And it'll be enough for a first down.
Great set of hands on that Swords right there. Proven it early in the game. Standing strong and catching it in the middle of the field to get the first down and keep the chains moving.
1st and 10 now at the 32-yard line. Nepa goes to the sideline to get the play. Taking a long time here. There's no official play clock, but the umpire in the back, or the back judge rather, is the arbiter of that. Man in motion, he takes the snap. He'll hand it off. That's Watson. And he'll get stood up, and there's the ball's on the ground. See what the referee hits? Eisenhower ball!
Michael Otto with the fumble recovery. We were just talking to the head coach of the Bulldogs, Coach Kurt Reines, and he talked about it specifically in their last game. Turnovers were the huge issue that gave Eisenhower a 28-7 win last time they played here in September, and right away that reared its ugly head to get things started, and now Eisenhower has a short field to get things going here at home.
Just a great placement of the helmet to knock the ball out. It's 1st and 10 for Eisenhower, ball at the 34. Bullock looking to change the play. He's got Mason Korn in the backfield, the senior running back. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Bullock gets the snap. Reverse the other way. That's Gabriel Pettypool. And he'll get about 4 on the carry, maybe 3. 2nd down.
Trying to supplement the running game a little bit, starting to bring the tricks early and keep that Romeo defense on their toes for the rest of the game, because knowing that, hey, the reverse sweep to one of the receivers is a possibility. That's going to keep them on their toes. So able to establish that early for a decent gain of about 3, or 2 rather, to get things started for the Eagles.
We got a packed house here at Swinehart Field. Everybody here for week 1 of the playoffs. Hoping to see him again next week. 2nd down and 8. Bullock takes a snap. He's looking to throw. He's going to roll out of the pocket, rolling backwards, still looking downfield. He's finally going to throw this one away. Dangerous, dangerous rollout. But he's able to throw the ball away. It's 3rd down.
Keeping an eye downfield, Keaton Duda with the neon gloves. You can't miss him. On the sideline, I saw him throw his hands up in the air looking to catch a high point one, but the pressure just driving Bullock to toss it out of bounds. Had 3 Bulldogs chasing after.
Able to get those shoulders pointed straight. 3rd down and 8 here for Eisenhower. We're gonna get our first penalty here.
Dead ball, full start, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Makes this a tougher 3rd down for the Eagles.
And just so soon after the fumble recovery, that's giving Eisenhower an extra possession to start off the game. And already behind the sticks on 3rd down. Romeo defense holding strong in response to that, trying to keep things scoreless before they retry their first possession. 3rd and 13, a tall order early in this game.
Ball's placed right between the 36 and 37-yard line. They'll run up to the line. Bullock's going to be under center here. Man in motion. Fakes the pitch. Looking to throw downfield into the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Keaton Duda, just unable to come back to the ball.
Duda had a few steps on his man.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Well, while we're looking downfield, right here, roughing the passer, a terrible penalty for Romeo.
And that's going to give Eisenhower now another chance at this. Take a look at the pass downfield. Duda had a couple of steps, just needed to be thrown a little bit earlier, but gave enough time to the corner to catch up and close the distance.
It's going to bring up 1st and 10, move the ball down to the 21-yard line.
Romeo had a chance to undo the turnover, essentially. Now a fresh set of downs.
High snap, Bullock able to corral it. He's going to hand it off to Korn, running up the middle. Breaking tackles, touchdown, Eagles! 21-yard run up the middle for Mason Korn. Eagles on top.
And Mason Corn, that's a tough runner right there for the Eagles, but didn't have to be tough for this one. He just hit the hole with lightning speed right up the middle. No one was able to chase him, even with the delayed handoff at the high snap. Barely touched on his way to the end zone.
Mason Corn stepping up. Usually that's a Bryce Hurley spot right there, but Mason Corn 21 yards to the house. Fanone on to kick this field goal.
We've seen in previous games where Corn would get a fair share of the carries. He's a tough dude to tackle, very shifty at that second level.
And the kick is good. A little bit of a sky high, but goes through the uprights. 9:24 to go here in this first quarter. Eisenhower gets on the board first, 7-0.
Great blocking on that play and just giving Corn enough time to gain the speed to outrun the final defenders on his way to the Utica end zone. That puts up now 7 early against the Bulldogs. Off of that turnover on the first possession from Romeo. We'll see how their offense will respond to now their second possession to try and keep this one close.
Well, like you said, you talked to the head coach of Romeo pregame, and what was the first thing he said? It's about turnovers. Stopping the turnovers. Whoever is turning the ball over is probably going to lose this game.
That's exactly, those were the words he said, and it's a shame to see that immediately come to fruition on that first possession. You got to imagine he is white hot on the sideline.
Not only that, we had the roughing the passer mistake there from Romeo. You said that they're aggressive, but that's one with 3rd and 13. You want to make sure you get off the field.
You want to be physical, but you want to be smart about it as well. It's not about the brawn. The brain is included.
Kick is away, and it'll be dropped in the end zone for a touchback. You know, the last time we saw the Eagles here against Dakota, Dakota had a few mishaps in the kicking game, in the return game. So maybe Fanone is able to kind of let that ball bounce a little bit.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a strange spin to it, rotating a little bit horizontally to kind of mix up what the kick returners are used to, which is that top over bottom kind of spin on the ball. So maybe that's turning out to be an advantage for them.
Nepa under center. He's going to hand this ball off, running up the right side. That's Troy Smith, the sophomore running back. And he'll get a gain of about 5 on that play.
Had a lot of speed, and it takes a lot of speed to run all the way around. And with a lot of the play calls, a lot of play designs, this kind of sweeping, you're running in the backfield, it looks like a lot of distance covered, but a lot of times if those plays aren't executed right, you just meet at the line of scrimmage. But enough speed on that one to get a good gain.
Looks like Eisenhower's going to have another pre-snap penalty, this time on the
Dead
defensive.
Ball, offsides, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So that'll create a first down without running a play.
Yeah, now this time Eisenhower making the mistake.
Nepa takes the snap. He's going to hand it off up the middle. A good run there. Number 22, Parker Cohen.
Sophomore running back close to picking up the first down, a couple of yards short, but tough running, falling forward.
Eisenhower did not like the quick snap, so they call a timeout.
Timeout, Eisenhower. It's the first of the half.
First timeout called. Eisenhower wants to regroup here on defense. 2nd and 2 coming up.
Yeah, you don't want to start making penalties and mental mistakes early in this game, especially it's only one score. It's close, as our fellas notice our camera crew here. Excited about today's events, but you don't want to start making those mental mistakes early. And what Coach Smith is trying to do most likely with this timeout is to try and nip that in the bud, refocus everybody, try to let everybody know, hey, this is a playoff game, yes, but we got to execute it and we have to play it as if it's the first one of the season. Try to reduce the pressure a little bit, because playing in the playoffs, a lot more jitters, a lot more excitement to it. You got to be able to contain that and make it productive.
Little trickery, shifting the offensive line. He's going to hand off on the motion.
Following blockers.
Big blockers down the field to the 30, 20. No one's going to catch him. That is a touchdown. Troy Smith, 62 yards on the scamper.
Coming out of the timeout, Romeo with the home run to try and equalize, put 6 on the board. A great blocking on the outside, creating that lane, and nobody's in the way. It's a track race at that point, making it all the way to the end zone for Troy Smith, the sophomore running back.
Not something you want to see if you are Coach Chris Smith coming out of a timeout, giving up a play like that. Extra point is good. While we have a second, let's go to the third member of our broadcast crew, Tim Meyer. Tim, what do you got to say?
Well, the Romeo Bulldogs thought they had Eisenhower stopped on 4th down, but a penalty gave Eisenhower first down, and Mason Korn ran through a huge hole. We were standing in there in the end zone. I think my mother could have ran through that hole, but hey, Romeo just came back and got a touchdown themselves, 7-7. That was Bryce Hurley-like on Korn's touchdown, guys. It was amazing. He saw that hole, and he hit it quick. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Tim. It's definitely, you don't miss Bryce Hurley when you're making runs like that.
Definitely, and kudos to the team, to the offensive line for creating a hole and blocking so that Tim's mother, Mrs. Mayer, could run through it herself. So great kudos to the offensive line for letting that happen, making that happen.
8:14 left here in this first quarter, and we got a tie game. That is definitely the answer that Romeo needed after the fumble and giving up the touchdown after roughing the passer. A lot of mistakes the first drive, but able to come back a 62-yard touchdown run from Troy Smith.
And another layer to this game here, not only is it the playoffs, not only is it two MAC Red teams, but Romeo and Eisenhower have a long history of a rivalry that goes into every sport, volleyball, boys and girls soccer. These teams like playing each other.
Korn going to take it from the 2-yard line, running up the middle, going to break through arm tackles, only the kicker to beat, and he's slowed down, finally brought down by Josh Lockbeiler, the junior, but a huge return from Mason Korn.
I mentioned it before when he had the touchdown run, but I wasn't expecting it to come back this soon. But he is difficult to tackle, able to make the right cuts, the right moves to find the lane, and these don't come without good blocking. And able to use his speed to get a huge, huge return for his Eagles. But kudos to Josh Lockbeiler for coming back and saving them a touchdown.
Great field position again for the Eisenhower offense. Starting this from the Romeo 44. Bullock takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff, keep it himself. I believe that was actually a wildcat formation. No, that was Bullock. He'll get about 5 or 6 on that carry. Second down.
So far, Eisenhower's offense proving to be a formidable force. Taking another look here with the option. Look how many blue jerseys are on the red. Great blocking. We've been seeing it throughout much of this first quarter, but that Ike blocking is doing them very, very well so far.
Coming up 2nd and 4. Bullock in the shotgun. He's got Korn to his right. Man in motion, that's Burnside. He's going to take the handoff this time, trying to find some room. But they're going to say no gain right at the line there. 3rd down coming up.
A bit of extra flair coming up from the tackle on the Romeo defensive side. We mentioned this rivalry goes deep, goes back many, many years, nearby high schools. Always a little bit of extra fire when these two teams face off in any sport.
3rd down and 4. See what offensive coordinator Joe Youngblood's got cooked up here. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Mason Korn in the backfield. Bullock takes a snap. Fakes a handoff to Korn, looking to throw. Keeps his eyes downfield, pump fake, and runs it himself, enough for a first down. Great job keeping your eyes downfield. Hard pump fake. That was Mahomes-like.
And he kept his eyes downfield even after he was way past the line of scrimmage, getting the first defender at that line of scrimmage to jump high in the air, and he's still looking downfield as if he could throw. He can't, but enough to freeze the defenders and let him get a much longer run out of it for a first down.
Definitely looked like
for the red zone.
Looked like a blown-up screen. Great improvisation. Bullock takes a snap, fakes a handoff to Burnside. Looks like the first play from the last set of downs. And he'll get down to the 21-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play, second down.
Seems like the Eagles are adopting the identity of, if you can't stop it, we're not going to stop. Forcing Romeo to come up with an answer. Until then, you're going to get a whole lot of Bullock running so far on this drive. We'll see if they shake it up or just stay the course.
Ball at the right in the middle of the 20 and 21-yard line there. Second down and a long 5. Bullock changing the play. Takes a snap. It's an option. Bullock's going to keep it himself, trying to run up the middle. And he'll get down to the 19-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play. Brings up another third down.
Eagles staying on the ground, and they're staying with Bullock so far. But third down, runs have been getting a little bit shorter. So we'll see how they shake it up.
.450 and ticking. Eventful first quarter here. First round of the playoffs. Bullock takes the snap, fakes the options, going to throw it, and it's intercepted. Coming the other way, that is Alex Kelly.
And that will equalize the turnovers. Looking downfield, trying to find the end zone. Tossing that one a bit out of reach, but within reach of Alex Kelly, the senior defensive back. He brings it back for the Bulldogs on a drive where the Eagles were really going with that huge kickoff return from Mason Korn, rushing from Jack Bullock, all that coming to a screeching halt as it flips the other way.
Definitely looked like Alex Kelly had the size advantage over Braylon Burnside, but like you said, just thrown a little bit too high. Takes the snap, and it's a run up the middle. Still fighting his way for yards. Eisenhower says they fumbled the ball. And they come out of the pile with it, and they're going to say that's a fumble. Eisenhower ball.
So much for that interception for Romeo. As we have basically returned to net zero.
As you can see there, Gabriel Pettypool trying to, it was on the ground.
It's tough to see the camera angle we have, but from sophomore running back Parker Cahoon, had a great run, dragging defenders with them, but a lot of times that gives them the opportunity to snatch and strip the ball away.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for Eisenhower. Takes a snap, pulls it out of the belly of Korn, and he's going to get sacked. Looked like Aiden Rocha first there on the option play. Late pull from Bullock, and he goes down.
And a bit of a stunner for the very, very packed Romeo's side of the stands. Having the highest of highs and lowest of lows in consecutive plays. But a sack for them, putting the Eagles behind the sticks, sure to give them something to cheer about.
Only a loss of 3, second down and 13. Bullock looking over the defense. He'll take the snap, looking to throw. He's going to scramble out of the pocket. Looking downfield. It's a deep pass to the end zone. And we got a penalty. That is a big pass interference. Joey Kako got there a little early defending Keaton Duda.
Pretty much a unanimous pass interference. That'll bring the Eagles.
Pass interference. Defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Bring them 15 yards up. You saw earlier on a strike to the end zone for Duda, the defender getting there just in time, but this not being the case. Way early, crashing into Duda was Joey Kako, number 4 for Romeo.
Did not give Duda a chance to come back to the ball. Just ran right through him. Well, that gives 1st and 10 for the Eagles. The ball is at the 18-yard line. They're going to change up the formation a little bit. They're going to go 5 wide here. Bullock in the shotgun by himself. Takes a snap, looking to throw. He's going to tuck it himself, running up the middle, down to maybe the 14, 13-yard line.
Even with as many receivers as you can get, still electing to run, still effective with it. For Jack Bullock following a blocker and a couple of Bulldogs crashing in to bring him down.
Bullock definitely looked like it was first read or run. That was the only 2 options on that play. Almost immediately after taking the snap, tucks the ball and runs. Clock ticking, 2:40 to go here in the first quarter. We're all tied up 7-7. Happy to have you here. Bullock in the shotgun. He's got Korn with him. It's a 2 tight end set here. He'll take the snap. Fake the handoff, pass is deflected, and it's incomplete, safely on the turf. 3 Bulldogs were around that one. No one able to come up with it.
We almost had 2 red zone interceptions for the Eagles. That one just too many defenders wanting it, but able to keep their eyes up, swatting the ball. That one having an awkward spin, tough to catch, but so far it's been kind of back and forth in the same part of the field. But Eisenhower getting away with it.
Eisenhower 1 for 3 on 3rd down so far. And we are going to get a timeout. Romeo, they'll take their first timeout.
Timeout, Romeo, their first of the half.
Want to get set here for this 3rd down play. We've seen it twice already in this game. First drive, roughing the passer. Earlier this drive, pass interference. So they definitely want to make sure that they're not going to do anything like that right here.
Definitely, and so far you can tell that there's a lot of nerves, there's a lot of excitement when it comes to this playoff game, as it would be for anybody, both sides sharing that, but what is going to separate teams going through the playoffs is being able to focus that and being able to stay calm and treat it like any other game. And with some of the mistakes that we have been seeing, it's going to take a little bit of time for teams to settle in. Timeouts like this are going to be crucial for slowing the pace down and getting everyone to relax. Calm, cool, and collected is the name of the game in the playoffs.
Winner of this game will meet the winner of Dakota and Utica. Playing right now, we're trying to find a score of that game.
Last time those two teams faced off, it was here at Swinehart. It was the 2nd trip for Dakota here at Swinehart. They faced Utica that previous week, but the 35-0 victory over the Chieftains was had. Now they get the rematch in the playoffs.
3rd down and 5. Korn in the backfield, Bullock in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Takes the snap, pressure off the edge. He's going to keep it himself, trying to find some room running it. But he'll get down to maybe the 11-yard line. Not enough for a first down. I'm going to say the 12-yard line.
Yeah, Romeo defense now, at least for this play, ready for the quarterback run, having everyone close in, not letting them go too far.
Fanone coming on to try a field goal here. It's a 29-yard attempt. Griffin DeMassey, the holder. Here's the snap and the kick. And it's good. From 29 yards, Eisenhower able to get 3 more points and take the lead back 10-7.
It's been such a strange sequence on that drive that was interrupted and then recovered with an interception, then a fumble recovery, finally ending in 3 points for Eisenhower. But for the Romeo defense, in 2 tries, we're able to hold them to just 3 points. We'll send it down to the sideline now to Tim. What you got?
So Eisenhower just got a field goal, making it 10-7, but Kurt Reines, the coach for Romeo, told his team, hold on to the football. You're getting close and you're going to get tackled. Hold on to the football. And by the way, guys, these pads are popping down here.
I can only imagine. It is freezing cold. It's the colder it gets, the harder those hits.
No doubt about it, especially with these 2 teams. They've always wanted to put a little extra juice, a little extra pop into each hit. But so far in what's been a very strange game, Eisenhower with a 3-point lead. Romeo with a chance to respond to touchdown to get them the lead. We'll see if they can execute.
Fanone to kick this one away. And it'll come up around the 6-yard line. On the return, running up the right side, trying to find some room. That's Troy Smith. And he'll get down about the 35-yard line. And that's where the Bulldogs take over. 1:23 to go here in this first quarter.
Krayenke on the tackle, but all 4 of those Bulldogs there, great job blocking. That's a good return getting up to the 35-yard line. It's not quite what we saw from Mason Korn earlier, getting them to the opponent's 45-yard line, but that's still a great return. A great job by the special teams to set up their offense.
Nepa in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers in a bunch on the left side. He takes the snap. He's going to throw it that way. Wide receiver screen to Smith, trying to find some room. He's able to dodge some tackles, and he's brought down at about the 38-yard line. Second down coming up.
Troy Smith scoring the initial touchdown for the Bulldogs, putting everything into that throw. Great first cut, but there was the entire defense waiting for him after that first cut. If it wasn't the first, it could have been the second, third, up to the 7th Eagle in line to get that last pop.
Breaking the huddle now. They'll go 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Puts a man in motion. That's Smith. He's going to get the handoff, breaking a tackle, and he's brought down maybe right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play.
It looks like a lot of running, and he's using that speed. You can tell that Troy Smith has that speed to be able to turn the corner, but a lot of times with those plays, it's too much running in the backfield for a defense like Eisenhower that has been stout all season. So it looks like a lot of running, but just to end with about a return to the line of scrimmage.
They had a shot for a loss. I believe that was Michael Odo. But they're able to stop him for no gain. Clock moving 5 seconds to see if they try to get a playoff. And they won't. Well, at the end of the first quarter, Eisenhower, 2 turnovers against Romeo, 10-7, Ike leads.
It's definitely been a strange game so far, but still within reach of both teams. As you recall, Romeo coming into this one hot. Talking to Coach Reines earlier, saying that they had to start a lot of young players in this season, and it kind of took them some time to find their identity throughout the season, and so far have been starting to find their groove coming into the playoffs here, almost winning 3 of their last 4, but splitting it 2-2 in the month of October to bring them here tonight. They're within fighting's distance of getting the lead here in the second quarter. And of course, we'd like to thank our friends at Esplenditos for their partnership with us here, Esplendino's Mexican Cuisine, Pizza, and Spirits. You give them a call at 586-3739-1070. We had a great spread here before the game. Be sure to have your Esplendinos ready for the second round of the playoffs, whether we'll see the Eisenhower Eagles or the Utica Chieftains, but definitely Esplendinos should be part of your game day.
Well, you know, that's another great thing about extra football. Extra Esplendinos.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's right. We're coming out of the quarter break here. Again, Eisenhower up 10-7. 3rd down and 5. Takes a snap. It's going to be a quarterback keeper up the middle. And he's only going to get about 3 yards. Not enough for a first down. That was number 7, Alex Robertson.
It's not the start to the offense that you wanted, with an opportunity to take the lead in that second quarter. It'll bring the punting unit out, and it'll be up to the Romeo defense to once again hold strong. Had an interception in one of their defensive possessions, and then holding them to 3 in the next. They're tasked with trying to hold this one close once again.
Here's the danger. Alex Robertson's listed as a backup quarterback, but he can't take the snap. He's got it, looking.
Gonna have to make a miracle.
Trying to find some room, but he's gonna get brought down. And they will turn the ball over at the 26-yard line. Eisenhower takes over.
Not at all what was expected here, as we have a Bulldog slow to get up. It is Alex Robertson.
Again, he was lined up as the punter. He's listed as our backup quarterback here. Just a high snap over his head. Unable to bring it in. Looked like he was going to try to throw it.
Almost had the momentum towards that far side, but the Eagles collapsing on it, and just not at all what you wanted out of that play. Almost worst case scenario, turning the ball over to the Eagles once again in deep into your own territory, as we continue to see attention to Alex Robertson.
This will be now the 3rd time that Eisenhower starts deep in the Romeo end. But let's throw it down to Tim. Tim, what do you got to say?
The Romeo Bulldogs are just shooting themselves in the foot in this game. Too many turnovers, but some of them are caused by the hard hitting of the Eisenhower Eagles. Eagles, once again, have good field position.
Robertson's going to be helped off the field. Good to see him up. And that's a senior for this Bulldog team.
With a lot of young starters that they have on this team, that veteran leadership, very valuable. It'll have to be on the sideline as he'll be assisted off. That'll get things started for the Eagles. Deep into territory and prime opportunity to increase their lead.
We got 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line for the Eagles. Bullock in the shotgun. He's got Korn behind him. It's a 2 tight end set. Burnside in motion. Fakes the handoff. He'll give it to Pettypool running over the left side on a reverse, and he'll get taken down just past the 25-yard line down to the 24-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Had my eyes fooled on it. When these things are executed correctly, then it's really confusing to see where the ball's going to go. A quick flip, very subtle, allowing him to get the space to make his way upfield for 2nd down.
Bullock looking to the sideline, trying to get the play. He's going to have 2 receivers to the right, tight end on the right. Keaton Duda on the left side.
Continued direction.
Bullock takes a snap. Hands off to Korn up the middle, trying to find the lane. He's down to the 15 and finally brought down to the 13-yard line. That's enough for a 1st down.
Able to keep his feet moving, shifty within a crowd. Check out his run here. Able to make it through the line of scrimmage, through contact, and still staying on his feet. It took about a third effort for the Romeo defense to take him down. Horn having a great performance so far in our first half as a powerful runner.
1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Still some room to get a first down here for the Eagles. Clock ticking, about 9:45 to go here. Burnside in motion. Fakes the handoff. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Running up the left side. He's still on his feet to the end zone. Not able to get there. He's pushed out of bounds at the 2-yard line. First down, Eagles.
They say with every great run has great blocking behind it, and it was great running by Bullock. Able to stay shifty and stay in the lanes given by his blockers, but able to turn the corner just 1 yard short on what was a great run. And so far, Romeo having difficulty covering the QB run.
That'll be down to the 2-yard line. Like I said, 1st and goal from there. Jack Bullock is going to go under center. Keeping himself, just push the pile into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles! 2-yard run for Jack Bullock, and the Eagles extend their lead.
For much of this first half, the yards gained have been from the feet of Bullock, and they reward him with a touchdown at the 2-yard line, pushed all the way in to get them a further lead, now 16-7. Extra point coming up.
As you see, the Eisenhower student section maybe frozen to the bleachers. It's a little chilly out there.
Stay close to your friends, you can stay warm.
Fanone on for the extra point. It's up. And it's good. With 9:27 to go here in the first half, Eisenhower extends their lead 17-7.
And that drive set up from a botched snap on the punt for Romeo, giving Eisenhower very short fields so far today. That's what Coach Reines was talking about, did not want to happen, but unfortunately that is the result here, putting them down by 10 with 9.5 to go until halftime. Now Romeo has the talent. They've proven themselves to play up to their competition, but mistakes like that make it much more difficult to pull off. So Romeo's going to have to sharpen things up on this second drive here, as you can't let Eisenhower get much further of a lead.
This defense does have the ability to just lock down. Trying to find that score, like we said, winner of this game will go on to play the winner of Dakota and Utica. This is the pre-district first round of the MHSAA playoffs here on the NFHS Network. I'm Chris Wright alongside Giovanni Macheri. Thank you for joining us here on a Friday night.
We hope you all had a great Halloween, a great haul from your trick-and-treating adventures.
Fanone gets the kick away. It's fielded at about the 5-yard line. That's Smith trying to find some room up the left side. And he'll get down to the 20-yard line where the Bulldogs take over.
And this drive here is going to be important. Like we mentioned before, you can't let Eisenhower continue to gain their lead here. Romeo has to keep it close. That's how they were able to have their success later in the regular season with a 1-point win over Grand Blanc. Had a chance to take it against Roseville the week before. So Romeo has to keep these games close.
Nepa under center. He's got Cahoon in the backfield. Ryan Warburg was the man in motion. That's Smith. Nepa gets the handoff to Cahoon, and he'll get down to the 26-yard line. Gain of 6 on that carry.
Just a good, powerful run up the middle, carrying teammates and opponents with them for a great first down gain, keeping it short on second down.
If you're Romeo, we're under 9 minutes to go here in the second quarter. But if you're Romeo, you kind of want to think a little bit in the future, maybe kill a little bit of clock. You don't want to give Eisenhower the ball back with enough time to score because they're going to get the ball back to start the third quarter.
Definitely want to avoid the double dip there in a situation where you're down by 10.
Tight formation here for the Bulldogs. Nepes takes the snap. He's going to look to throw, trying to avoid the sack, and he's just going to throw this one out of bounds.
Still a hit, so a little extra credit on the far sideline. A second effort of extra credit will get the yellow flags flying.
Michael Odo on the pressure. Just looked like a little bit of a late hit, but then a Romeo player came over and pushed over Odo. Let's see what we get here once we settle all this.
Trying to respect the honor of their quarterback.
Here you see Coach Reines trying to get a explanation here.
You always got to watch your behavior, whether it's for your teammates, whether it's trying to back up your friend. You got to keep these things in check because the referees don't care who you're doing it for. Penalty's a penalty.
See what we can see on replay. That's Michael Odo with the pressure.
Not letting go after tossing the ball.
It definitely looked like there was not a late hit. I think it was the push. I believe that was number 52, Trevor Simeon.
And we'll see the final result from our head referee, but
a lot to decipher here.
2 penalties on the play, 1 live ball, 1 dead ball. Ineligible receiver downfield, offense. We got a dead ball, personal foul, offense. Both penalties are on the offense. Half the distance. First, it'll be second down.
So they're going to, are they going to mark off both penalties? They were at the 25-yard line.
A strange result to it. Eisenhower getting out of it unscathed, and perhaps that was why the long explanation was given to Coach Reines. That one's going to send Romeo way, way back.
They're going to say at the
around the 10-yard line. They need to get to the 30.
There's still a lot of discussion happening on the field here.
Eisenhower has declined the ineligible receiver downfield. They have declined that penalty. They have accepted the penalty, the dead ball, personal foul on the offense. Half the distance, second down.
So everyone just trying to do their best to find where the ball's going to be.
The penalty was a dead ball foul, so it'll be third down.
They're going to say the 13-yard line, third down, coming up.
So we finally have our answer. We can continue the ball game. 8.5 to go. Romeo on a drive where they have very little margin for error. A whole lot of error outside of that margin coming up, or just passing. And they're way behind the sticks now.
So that's a 12-yard penalty. But that is the third big penalty that this Romeo team has taken so far early on in this game. Nepa takes the snap, looking to throw. Going to keep his eyes downfield. It's a deep pass, deflected, incomplete. Pass intended for Joey Nepa. Great defense there from Connor Temple.
A lot of Eagles in the area, but he had the height, able to high point the ball for Nepa, but just too many Eagles in the way, knocking him off course. It will force another punt for the Bulldogs.
We do have a score update, 17-0 Dakota over Utica currently. And we're going to get a whistle.
Timeout, Eisenhower, their second of the half.
Eisenhower takes their second timeout, 8:21 to go. They're going to get this ball back. And remember, this is a backup punter. We saw an injury to Alex Robertson. So let's see what they are going to do here.
On a drive where nothing was going right for Romeo, 2 penalties on 1 play, sending them way too far back to be able to get the first down. And for Eisenhower, a great opportunity to take a lot of time out of the second half where they'll get the ball and potentially with a score here be able to double dip. So this is now very dangerous territory for Romeo, where they had the game tied, and within 3, now it's within 10. And the defense is going to have to step up.
Joseph Salage, the place kicker, is now back to punt.
Joseph Salai is a member of the soccer team at Romeo as well, with a big leg, as you can see there.
Burnside standing his own 50, waves it off. And this will take a little Romeo bounce to the 44-yard line. And the Eagles take over from there.
Great punt from Joseph Salai, sending them way back from one end zone to about midfield. That'll give their defense a lot of room to be able to get a stop, which they're going to have at this rate to slow down this Eagles offense.
See what Joe Youngblood's going to cook up here. Bullock in the shotgun. Korn on his left. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Takes the snap, looking to throw. It's going to be a screen pass to Korn, trying to find his blockers, and he's going to get brought down around the 47-yard line of Romeo, and that's enough for a first down.
They're not going to wait long for the next play.
Quickly, they're going to line up. 1st and 10.
The chain gang yet to move.
Going to try to hurry this one up. Bullock takes the snap, looking to throw. Keeps his eyes downfield. He's going to throw this one deep. It's got Temple. It's caught. And he's going to be into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. 46 yards. Bullock to Connor Temple. And the Eagles continue to build that lead.
Had a great contest on the catch, but it just wasn't enough to not only stop the pass, but to get the tackle. Not enough to bring down Connor Temple. And another score and an increased lead for these Eisenhower Eagles. Had 2 Bulldogs in the area, but just couldn't get any contact to bring him down.
Alex Kelly was there trying to play the ball. Connor Temple able to grab that one. Fanon on for the extra point. It's up. And it is good. 2 plays on that drive. I don't even think 30 seconds came off that clock.
It was pretty instant to get the Eagles back on the board, 24-7. Just a great catch, high-pointing it, staying strong as he came to the ground and making a dash for the end zone.
Let's go to our 3rd member of our broadcast team, Tim Meyer. Tim, what do you got?
Hey guys, that last touchdown pass to Connor Temple, it looked like Connor was not going to be able to adjust to the football, but his great speed and athleticism helped him adjust to the football. And he goes down as one of the great wide receivers in Eisenhower history, along with the Doug Pattersons, the Chris Massanos, the Scott Eagles. Also, on the Bulldog side, number 7, Alex Robertson, who was injured on that punt, he is their backup quarterback. Their other backup quarterback, Brody Meyer, who's also out. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Tim.
So the Bulldogs definitely short-manned today. But we thank Tim, a historian of these 2 schools here, as a welcome member to our broadcast.
Fanon kicks this one away. It's Caught at the 6-yard line. That's Troy Smith trying to find some room up the left side. And he's going to get hit and brought down at about the 13, 14-yard line. Great kickoff coverage from the Eagles. And they'll start from there.
Troy Smith has done well returning for them so far today. Has great speed, but Eisenhower's special team just able to wrap up. Jimmy McGuire with the shoelace tackle to bring them way back in their own territory. If not for that, then a lot of room was left for Troy Smith to bring it farther up the field. And as our Eagles study up in the meantime, there's no wasted time in a football game. Always time to get ready.
Nepa takes the snap, hands it off, and he's met in the backfield. Michael Odo with the tackle. Troy Smith nowhere to go right after the handoff, immediately taken down.
And Odo's had a great game so far defensively. On a previous drive was a free runner to force a throw out of bounds, and that one just dropping in the backfield with no hesitation.
He's got a fumble recovery today too. They're going to mark this down at the 9-yard line. Second down and 15.
This Eisenhower crowd is feeling it. They're loving what they're seeing.
Nepa takes the snap, looking to throw. He's going to throw it over the middle, and it's dropped. Intended for Drake Vandrish. Hit him right in the chest, unable to come up with that catch.
Mistakes like that, you can't have them against Eisenhower. Maybe was anticipating a tip on the pass. Just couldn't adjust to it in time as it hits the dirt.
Third down. 0 for 2 so far are the Bulldogs. 6:44 and a stopped clock right now. 6:44 to go here in the second quarter.
Crowd roaring on third down. Everyone's got a third down card they're waving.
Nepa takes the snap, looking to throw. He's rolling out, keeps his eyes downfield, and it's incomplete. Is that Coach Smith down there playing receiver? No, that wasn't Coach Smith. Intended for Drake Vandrish.
Had an opportunity, great pressure applied. It's Odo once again, the main applier of pressure, but throwing that one out of bounds. Had an opportunity to get Vandrish on the sideline of what could have been a first down.
Vandrish looked like he found the safe spot in that defense, but just out of reach there.
When the pressure's applied, it scrambles the brain of the quarterback, and that's part of why it's so effective. Not only is it getting them out of position, but they're trying to multitask the pass and get away.
Burnside standing at the Romeo 40, takes this punt dangerously, and he's brought down right there at the 40. A lot of traffic there for catching that ball.
Yeah, there's some high-speed Bulldogs ready to knock some teeth loose on that one, but just avoiding the contact in the last second. Romeo's still able to wrap up right where he caught it at that 40-yard line, but that could have been a dangerous high-speed hit.
Eisenhower leads 24-7, 6.5 to go here. Again, this is the first round of the high school football playoffs. Pre-districts.
Taking a look at Romeo's offensive output so far in MAC Red play, just under 20 points a game. Overall, just under 19, so they're going to have to go above and beyond to catch Eisenhower today. Meanwhile, the Eagles back with the ball are going to make that more difficult.
Bullock takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Korn running up the middle. Finds a gap down to the 25-20, and no one's going to catch him. Touchdown, Eagles! 40-yard scamper, Mason Korn, his second touchdown of the day. Eisenhower extends their lead 30-7.
That dude has got lightning in his shoes. First sign of seeing the gap, shifty on his way and just outrunning everybody on his way to the end zone. Using the referee a little bit as a partial blocker on his way but no one with the speed to catch him for another touchdown for Korn.
Extra point is up. And it is good. 6:21 to go here in the second quarter. Eisenhower extends that lead 31-7.
Eisenhower faring well without Bryce Hurley as Mason Korn has filled in the shoes well. And that crowd here at Eisenhower smiles ear to ear all over.
That is the second long touchdown run for Mason Korn. He had a 21-yard run to start the scoring in the first quarter, and then another 40-yard run there for a touchdown. Fanone getting ready to kick this one away. Troy Smith back to return for the Bulldogs.
The Eagles have really put the Bulldogs in a really tough position all in the first half. Originally tied 7-7, forcing a field goal on what was effectively two offensive possessions, allowing just one field goal out of both of them on the side of Romeo's defense, but since then they just have not been able to keep the Eagles from scoring.
Smith gets this at about the 3-yard line, finding some room up the right side, down the sideline, and he's finally brought down as he crosses the 30-yard line down to the 32. And the Romeo Bulldogs start there.
Pretty consistently able to get his Bulldogs near the 30-yard line on these returns, evading the first two Eagles and following the blocking. On his way to the 30, up to now the 32 is where they'll mark it. So a good return on the day for Troy Smith. He has a touchdown, the sole touchdown that Romeo has today, so he's been putting in a lot of work for his Bulldogs.
1st and 10, ball at the 32-yard line. Nepa takes the snap, he's gonna hand it off to Troy Smith, and he's gonna get brought down immediately. Gabriel Pettypool with the tackle, just staying with the man. No gain.
Ike just able to sniff this one out. A great low tackle, attacking the shoelaces. Tackle on first contact. That's the name of the game for a defensive back.
Nepa under center takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Troy Smith again. Few blockers down the right side, and he's brought down. Maybe a gain of 1 on that play. This Eisenhower defense is screaming towards the ball. That was Ben Krajenke.
And they're letting their presence be known, not only getting the hits, but bringing the hurt with it. And now 3rd and long for the Romeo Bulldogs, with the offense just having issues all over from the swarming Eisenhower defense.
So far 0 for 3 on 3rd down. They are 5 wide here, 3rd down and 8. Nepa looking to throw. He's going to throw it short over the middle, and it is incomplete, intended for Joey Kako. And 4th down again for the Bulldogs.
Joey Mixa there to break up the pass. Now bring the punting unit out once again for the Bulldogs. Eisenhower's just not been giving him an inch in the recent minutes of the second quarter.
You know, it was a few minutes ago I said Romeo wants to let this drive have a long extended drive because they don't want Eisenhower to score twice at the end of the second quarter and the beginning of the third quarter. But since then, Eisenhower scored twice, and they're about to get the ball back here with under 5 minutes to go. Braylon Burnside, fair catch at the 35-yard line, and the Eagles take over from there.
I mean, it wasn't incorrect. It's what they needed to prevent what we're seeing on the field here, but it's become difficult for them to have these long sustained drives, as whether from mental mistakes or execution mistakes. It's just been tough to get the ball moving on the Romeo side against an Eisenhower team that's been top 10 in the state, or at least near top 10 in the state all season long. They're proving why in this first round of the playoffs.
Bullock in the shotgun, hands it off to Korn. Corn running up the left side. Great block movement, and he's free. Down to the 40. One man to beat. Can he do it? No! Brought down from behind. That was Aiden Hallebuck on the tackle.
And an extra bump will bring a flag out. But Corn navigating mazes to find the open space. That's what he's been doing all game long.
See what this flag's about. That was a good one.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense half the distance to the goal, first down.
Frustrating starting to boil over for Romeo. A bit of extra credit on the tackle. We'll draw another flag, but Mason Corn, man, been putting in the work. Max effort on every run. The chain gang makes their way up to match that long carry.
First and goal from the 7-yard line. Bullock in the shotgun. He's got Corn on the right. Fakes the handoff. It's going to be to Burnside. Looked like he's going to throw, but he's going to get brought down at the 7-yard line. No gain on that play.
Trying to get him a passing touchdown, but Romeo able to crowd it and not leave the open passer, but around the middle of that end zone was an open receiver.
It was Connor Temple who was open in the middle. You got to think if that was Bullock, that would be a touchdown. But the clock will move. We're under 4 minutes to go.
Eisenhower Eagles just trying to see kind of what plays in their playbook can be executed well, take notes on it to save them for what is likely to be a future game in the playoffs.
Bullock moves Corn to the right side. Burnside in motion. Fakes the handoff, looking to throw over the middle. Pass is caught. Touchdown. Braylon Burnside.
They said, I know you couldn't get the passing touchdown. We're so sorry about that. Here's a receiving touchdown and make it up to you.
Wide open in the end zone was Burnside.
And a flag in the end zone as well. We'll see what that one's for. Imagine it came out just as he was starting to do the gritty, so we'll see if that was the infraction.
Unsportsmanlike offense, the penalty would be enforced on the kickoff.
Looks like it was the gritty.
Not a fan of the modern dance moves. He was literally hitting the gritty.
Try some of the old school stuff next time.
Extra point is up, and it's good. 3:17 to go here in the second quarter. Eisenhower opens a 38-7 lead. Well, while we have a few minutes, let's go down to the sideline. We got me, Chris Wright, we got Giovanni Macheri, but we also have Tim Meyer. Tim, what do you got?
Mason Corn for Eisenhower, the running back, number 34, is having a heck of a game. But we heard John DeGiorgio on the sidelines tell his offensive players they can't stop our counter. They can't stop our counter. What do? They ran the counter. Mason got it all the way down there, and Burnside got the touchdown. Eisenhower putting a whooping on the Bulldogs.
You know, I think I'm going to run out of space on my notepad here.
Keeping notes for the big plays.
You know, I got touchdowns, I got penalties, just a lot of stuff. Let's take a look at the touchdown again to Burnside there.
No counter to the counter, as our man Tim Myers says, and that's evidence so far. 38-7 lead. Not even at halftime yet. Eisenhower flexing their muscles against their rival Romeo Bulldogs.
So for the gritty, the Eisenhower Eagles will kick off from the 25-yard line. So at least Romeo, if you want to get back in this game, this is where you start. And you should have good field position here.
Yeah, Romeo's in a position where they got to tightrope it all the way to the end of the game. Can't allow one more point, and you got to score on just about every other possession. It's the only option left at this point. Some of them from mistakes and some of them from Eisenhower just doing their thing.
Troy Smith will take it at about the 15-yard line, looking for some room up the middle. And he'll get brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 24.
A played handoff of the ball to the referee. And like we've been seeing, unfortunately, he's had to do a lot of returnings, either mostly from kickoffs. But Troy Smith has been doing a good job of getting a good return. This time to the 38-yard line, just about exactly offsetting that penalty from Eisenhower, bringing them farther upfield.
3:12 to go here in this second quarter. Nepa takes the snap. He's going to hand it off up the middle. And that is the big body running back there, Ryan Rohrburn, the junior. He'll get 1 yard on the play.
Couldn't shake the first tackle, but it was the second Eagle executing the tackle perfectly. It's simple. When you're young, what they teach you with tackling is once you get a grab of the player, you got to force your shoulder, force them to go down. That was pretty much a textbook tackle on the shoestrings there.
Second down and 9, clock rolling, 2.5 to go here. Troy Smith fakes the handoff, Nepa. Nepa looking to throw over the middle. Pass is caught down to the 45 and taken down at the 40. That is Jackson Swords, the tight end.
Had both his hands up saying, I'm open, I'm open. And even then, not enough time for Eisenhower to close in for a big reception to the tight end. Again, a few yards after the catch as well for a big first down, flipping them into Eisenhower territory.
Dead ball, all sides. Defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Eisenhower given 5 free yards there to Romeo.
And taking a look back at Romeo's game against Grand Blanc, it was about a balanced offense with a little bit more in the passing attack, able to find Drake Van Der Esch as well as Jackson Swords, able to balance that with a good ground game, able to get them a victory over Grand Blanc, but having trouble finding that here today at Swinehart.
Braylon Burnside came off the field holding his arm. It's a little bit of concern. It's a handoff to Rohrburn up the middle. And get about 2 yards on the carry. That's definitely something you want to avoid now. You're up 30 points, 31 points. Let's get out of here clean.
Definitely. I mean, that's got to be the objective here is for Eisenhower. You're in great position to have your season continue, to face the winner of Dakota and Utica. At this point, it's looking like Dakota will be their opponent. And Eisenhower having a Bulldog of their own, dressed as such.
Second down and 4. Handoff to Rohrburn, and he's met in the backfield. Big loss on that play. Back to the 36-yard line. Brings up third down.
Third down, and it's unfortunate to say this right before halftime, but it seems like Romeo are starting to feel the deficit a little bit, a little less pep in their step, knowing that they got another half to go and on offense have been struggling all day long. Not seeing quite the same pep in the step as we do on the Eisenhower side. So it's going to have to take a little bit of extra motivation to try and get their heads back into this game.
0 for 4 are the Bulldogs on third down. Nepa takes the snap, looking to throw. Pass over the middle. It's caught, but short of the first down is Joey Kako. Only gain of 1 on the play.
Was almost able to stay up and get a few extra yards on that one, but the initial hit from McGuire would knock him down in more of a delayed fashion and set up fourth down.
Get a whistle here. See what we got from the officials.
Timeout, Romeo. Please put 33 seconds on the clock. Timeout, Romeo.
33 seconds back on the clock. 33 seconds back on the clock after the timeout by Romeo.
The messaging at this point for Romeo, while the tightrope is going to be difficult, it's the only option you have to come out of this game. And for Kurt Reines, it's going to be a tough sell, no doubt, because we're all human, but you have to go into the second half with a little bit more energy and belief that you can continue your season. Use what you've been using during this last stretch in October of great performances. They're able to get you this spot in the playoffs, as our camera crew hard at work in the bitter cold to bring us a beautiful picture we have here today. We can't thank them enough for all that they do here.
Fourth down coming up here for the Bulldogs. Nepa takes a snap, he's looking to throw, and he's gonna get brought down. Number 75 in white. That is Haddad, Roman Haddad on the sack.
Just at an awkward spot around that 40-yard line. Too close to punt, too far to field goal. You got to go for it. But Eisenhower not giving it a chance.
And the Eagles take over from there with 27 seconds to go. See if they decide just to take a knee and go into halftime. And they will. Well, one half to play here in this pre-district game. Eisenhower, 38-7 lead here, and Giovanni, big mistakes from Romeo.
Definitely, and Eisenhower made them pay, and the wheels just starting to come off here on the Romeo side. Eisenhower having their day, the first round of the playoffs just in this first half.
Eisenhower leads 38-7. We'll be back with second half action right after halftime.
Proudly serving Shelby Township for over 25 years, Esplendido continues their tradition of serving up some of the best pizza in the area. If you're a fan of puffy tacos, head on in and taste their outstanding Mexican cuisine. Dine in and have some fun. Watch the big game on one of their many new screens or get it to go. Call 586-739-1070. Great food, spirits, and celebration. That's Esplendido, proud sponsor of Eisenhower and Utica football.
Welcome back to Swinehart Field. Eisenhower with a commanding lead, 38-7. My name's Chris Wright alongside my broadcast partner, Giovanni Mosheri. And Giovanni, this game is anything of what we could have expected.
No doubt. I mean, we were expecting, especially with both teams down some of their big players, a big rivalry, MAC Red opponents. We thought, thinking this one would be a little bit more close, competitive, but unfortunately that's just not what it ended up being. Whether it was from mistakes on Romeo's side or just great execution on Eisenhower's side, they have broken this game open early and leaving it to a 38-7 score coming into halftime, and Eisenhower gets the ball.
A lot of mistakes, like you said, from Romeo. 2 turnovers, 2 fumbles, 3 personal fouls, a roughing the passer, and 2 late hits. Definitely not what Coach Reines wanted.
No.
Let's take a look at some first half highlights. Giovanni, walk us through it.
So starting here, Romeo, unfortunately losing the ball is what Coach Reines was talking about as one of the main reasons why their last matchup in September went the way it did. But then we saw a trade of long touchdown runs using the speed of each side for Korn on Eisenhower's side, Smith on Romeo's side. An interception potentially bringing new life to Romeo, but on the next play, ball comes to the turf again, flipping it around. Eisenhower would get a field goal out of that one to get a 3-point lead, and it was just a whole lot of Mason Korn and a lot of running from quarterback Jack Bullock as well. Receiving touchdown from Connor Temple. Eisenhower's just been using all the talent that they have on the defensive side. You see Michael Otto having a big night as well, and the Eagles have really just taken this game over. Again, a 38-7 lead coming into halftime.
Giovanni, there's Mason Korn again. 2 big touchdown runs in that first half, a 21-yard touchdown and a 40-yard touchdown run. And there's Braylon Burnside in the end zone for the final touchdown of the second quarter for the Eagles. But the victor of this game is waiting. The winner of Dakota and Utica playing right now. Last we heard, Dakota was up 17-0. And this is single elimination, so just stay in the game. Try to stay healthy. We saw Burnside might have injured his arm. We haven't heard anything from that, but stay healthy, get going. You got another game next week.
Definitely. You got to play. At this point with this second half, you got to play the long game a little bit. Have a little bit of foresight into next week because, unfortunately, with the score the way it is, your mind is going to go that way. And it's going to be smart to keep your key players healthy, keep them loose, keep them warmed up. Obviously, give them their time on the field, but you don't want to overdo it. You got to get ready for a winner that will most likely, at this point, be Dakota. Although we've seen Utica be feisty, but all probability will say that it'll be a rematch of Eisenhower and Dakota, both co-champions of the MAC Red. Eisenhower's win here at Swinehart against Dakota, determining that co-championship. Dakota saying that they let that game go and they're going to want revenge in that next matchup. So it's going to be important for both those teams to get out of this first round healthy enough to be full power when they face each other potentially next week.
That was something that we had a benefit of because we saw Dakota here against Eisenhower. Then we saw them the next week against Utica. We got a chance to talk with the head coach of Dakota and just see what he was thinking, how he saw that game against Eisenhower. So being able to see them again next week is going to be really interesting.
Definitely. We're going to be excited for that one, but the second half about to kick off, giving this one to the Eagles. It's going to have to come down to, will Romeo get their energy back up? Will they continue their fight? We'll see on this possession here that they played defensively.
Well, there's Braylon Burnside ready to return, as well as Mason Korn. The kickoff is away, and that'll go into the end zone for a touchback. Only the second time Joseph Salai has had to kick that, had to have run a kickoff, excuse me. We'll start the third quarter from the 20-yard line, and Eisenhower ball.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to give that one to Mason Korn again, not only from the rushing attack he's had today, but he's had kickoff returns that have gone deep and have gotten into Romeo territory. So giving that one a touchback will just give them a chance to get settled on defense.
Bullock started the shotgun. He's got Mason Korn on his right hip, one receiver left, one to the right, 2 tight end set. Bullock takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Korn. He's going to keep it himself, trying to find some room up the left side, but he's going to get hit right there at the 19-yard line, loss of 1. And it'll be second down and 11.
And great defensive effort from Romeo. They've been gashed from runs from Bullock earlier in this game, but they've been now ready for it, getting 2 Bulldogs to team up against him to bring him down. Anthony Safo and Joey Badalamenti. Numbers 32 and 33, senior linebackers.
Second down now, 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Still is Mason Korn in the backfield with him. Bullock takes the snap, looking to throw. Keeps his eyes downfield to throw over the middle. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Gabriel Pettypool. Alex Kelly on the deflection.
And Kelly was ready for it. He had an interception earlier in that first half. Able to read the eyes of the quarterback to get into position in time. And great pass breakup for what could have been a huge gain. But I will say on the near sideline, we saw Keaton Duda, those neon gloves. You can't miss them. Could have potentially had an opportunity on the close sideline as well.
Brings up third down and 11. Eisenhower 1 for 4 on third down in that first half. Bullock takes the shotgun. He's going to throw again. This time he does look for Duda. Pass is caught. First down to the 42-yard line. Like you said, Duda along the left sideline.
Gave him a lot of soft coverage there, running almost without a Bulldog with them, able to just turn the curl route. And we saw Bullock was looking at him the whole time.
And he
knew
took
where
a
he
shot.
wanted to put it.
Bullock took a shot. But I think Keaton hadn't even made his break until after Bullock had thrown that ball. Great timing from the quarterback-receiver duo. Bullock in the shotgun. He's got two receivers left and right. Puts a man in motion. That's Connor Temple. Looking to throw. Keeps his eyes up. A little bit of pressure. Pump fakes. And he's going to keep it himself down to the 48-yard line. Good gain there. Gain of 7 on the play. Second down to 3.
And Joey Batelamenti on the tackle, but not before. A few yards gained from Bullock. Takes 2 Bulldogs to take him down.
Second down and 3. Ball at the 48-yard line. Bullock giving Mason Korn some instructions. Bullock takes the snap. A little miscommunication on that one. Looking downfield, and he's just going to step out of bounds. Might have been late, but the referees are not going to call that one.
But the audience would sure like it. Everyone's hands flicking out. Want to throw the flag themselves.
And the head official telling the Eisenhower sideline that it was not late.
And we set up some miscommunication with Mason Korn going to the wrong side. Handoff coming to the wrong side. Having to just scramble out, but for Romeo, you don't want to start piling on more penalties. As much as you are frustrated and as much as you want to bring the pain to Eisenhower, you got to do it between the sidelines. You got to do it with your play.
Third down and 6 now. Clock stopped, 9:21 to go here. Bullock and Duda communicating a little bit. He'll take the snap. He's going to roll out to the right, looking to throw. Pass is caught. Connor Temple at the 40, down to the 35, 30, breaking tackles, and finally brought down at the 23-yard line. Another third down conversion on this drive. Eagles moving down the field.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And another personal foul, roughing the passer against Romeo.
As if the big completion wasn't bad enough, you got to pile on a penalty on top of it. That's what we're talking about for Romeo. You don't want to make that the game. There's only one way to make it worse. That way is for sure. But back to the pass itself, Temple finding that soft spot in the coverage, about 5 yards of clearance between him and any other defender, letting him get the big catch, but shaking tackles to get the big run too. For our band, it sure is cold out there. But they stay strong and entertaining the crowd.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line. Bullock in the shotgun. Mason Korn in the backfield with him. Bullock takes the snap, looking to throw. Pass over the middle, and it is deflected, incomplete. Connor Temple with the intended receiver, but he had a host of Bulldogs surrounding him.
Yeah, great identification there, closing in. What could have been a pick in the end zone, and sometimes you get good enough coverage, it almost limits you on how you're able to pick the ball off. A great opportunity to do so, but just couldn't grab it, couldn't track the ball to the chest.
Just off the hands of Alex Kelly.
That would have been interception number 2.
This drive already past 3 minutes. closing in on 3.5 minutes to start the third quarter. Four receivers spread out. Bullock puts Mason Korn in motion. He'll take the snap, fake the handoff to him. Bullock's going to run it himself down to the 10, to the 5, and he'll get pushed out of bounds inside the 2, down to the 1-yard line. Enough for a first down.
Giving his Eagles now 4 shots to find the end zone again. Great running from Bullock. He's been doing a lot of running in this game, but able to find the right route to get around the edge and still enough to get the first down.
Just great job standing up in the pocket, finding that lane.
Jacob Turley on the tackle, senior linebacker, with the extra effort, able to prevent the touchdown and keep it at the 1.
Bullock in the shotgun. Gonna hand it off to Korn. Jumping over the line into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles! 1-yard touchdown run for Mason Korn. And it is now 44-7 pending the extra point.
Diving into the end zone like Scrooge McDuckins to his fortune of coins. Into that Eisenhower end zone. We'll make that now touchdown number 3 for Mason Korn. He's been having a heck of a game tonight.
Got some referee discussion. They got to notify Chris Smith of something. Another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Romeo.
It's times like that. This is where you build character here, not great character being shown for Romeo. You got to be able to keep your frustration at a minimum here. It only hurts your team at this point. Despite the score, it's not going to help.
So the referees tried to discuss how they're going to break this down.
Unsportsmanlike on the defense. Penalty being enforced on the kickoff.
They're going to enforce that penalty on the kickoff. Trying to get this all lined up. Fanone ready for the extra point.
Yeah, back to Romeo. It's going to be a coaching point. You got to imagine that Kurt Reines is going to have this be one of the first messages in the locker room, is that no matter what the scoreboard says, you can't start having penalties. You can't misbehave and make things worse for your team.
Definitely not how you want to end the season. High snap. They're going to have to try to find a way. DeMassey looking to throw it to the end zone, and it is incomplete, but we got a flag.
A bit of a high snap, causing a delay. Couldn't get the kick off, but
high snap, yep, just couldn't get that set.
Trying to see where the penalty could have come
Ineligible offense. That penalty's declined. Try is no good.
A lot of chaos happens when things like that, you know, on the high snap. Let's go down to the field with Tim Meyer. Tim, what do you got?
So, big crowds here with Eisenhower and Romeo all the time. The Eisenhower concession stand has gone through 53 pizzas. These are 16-inchers, so it's a lot of pizza to go through. And meanwhile, Eisenhower now is in running clock mode, and the clock will keep running, as you guys probably already said. Anyway, I didn't mean to eat the whole thing. Sorry.
Tim, I don't know how many pizzas you ate, but not one of them got shared with us up here.
We saw Tim on the sideline with the empty box of pizza. I'm like, this is going to be good. We couldn't wait to get down. And, hey, here's another pizza pun here. Tim definitely delivered.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Good at my job, people.
53 boxes of pizza. Can you believe it?
The crowd's got a good show, a good appetite. It's built up.
Getting ready to try to line this kick up here. Remember, there was the unsportsmanlike penalty.
A lot of official discussion here so far this game. Some due to penalties, and some due to not penalties that people think that should have been.
Because of the unsportsmanlike penalty, Eisenhower is going to kick this ball off from the Romeo 30.
I've never seen something like this before.
This is do you just try to onside it and see what happens?
The answer is yes.
They're going to say illegal procedure. There's no way that they got that.
I don't think you practice that. It's so rare to ever see that. I think this is the first time they've executed something this close. There's no way.
I mean, even so, if this is a call against Eisenhower and he pushes back 5 more yards, that's still the 35-yard line.
Dead ball, offsides, kicking team, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
And you got to imagine they're just going to let this one rip again. I guess coming a bit too early.
It was number 8, Ben Pregame.
And just a scenario you don't see very often where the kickoff is this close. But you got to imagine just run the onside again. It's still to your advantage. It's still in good territory.
Or just sky it.
I mean, if you could get it between the goalposts, would that be like a unique
Is
two-pointer?
Well, you know what?
New rules?
You know what I learned this week? The Canadian Football League. If you punt a ball and it goes out of bounds, like through the end zone, that's 1 point.
No,
you get 1 point.
Hey, you got to reward the punter. If you could blast that thing that far, let him have it.
The problem is if it's a tie game and you're at the 20, or I mean, let's say the 40, you just punt it. Like, again, it's a kickoff on the ground.
It was bobbled first. Became a live ball, but Romeo will recover.
Down at the 15-yard line. That's where Romeo will start. But it is a running clock here now that Eisenhower has a big enough lead.
We have an update from Dakota and Utica. In the third quarter, Dakota increases their lead 31-0 over Utica, making the next matchup most likely to be the Eagles and the Cougars, co-champions of the MAC Red, in round 2 of their season bout.
And it takes a snap, looking to throw. He's going to throw this one just out of reach. Intended for Troy Smith.
A little too much mustard on that one, looking for Smith. I wonder if Tim has a count as how many hot dogs were consumed on the topic of mustard, but
you know what? I got a number of hot dogs. Number of hot dogs we've consumed. 0.
Hey, you can only go up from here, but either way.
Not one. Not one hot dog has come up to the press box. I don't know what to tell you.
But either way, a bit too much zip on the ball. We're bringing out of bounds, looking for Troy Smith. The sophomore running back has been putting in a lot of work for this Romeo team.
2nd down and 10. Smith in motion. Low snap. Nepa is just going to fall on top of it. Another miscommunication there for Romeo.
Mistakes like this keep piling up. There has to come to a point where it's just a matter of wanting to do it for yourself, to try and keep these mental mistakes to a minimum. We're ignoring the scoreboard just to play football the way you've been practicing for your teammates, for those that are in attendance. It's getting sloppy here for Romeo.
That makes it 3rd down and 16. 0 for 5 so far are the Bulldogs. Bulldogs keep the blitz at bay. Incomplete. Pass intended for Joey Nepa.
Pass intended for number 15 this time. Incomplete.
They'll bring up 4th down and the punt unit.
Had a chance at it, but diving it down with the arms out the way they were became a bit of an awkward way to catch it, unable to keep it in the hands, and now bring up 4th down as punter back to action. We'll take another look at it, rolling out to the right. And you can see diving with the hands outward. Usually when it's that low, you try to scoop it with your palms up. Just a tough angle to catch it at.
Able to get the punt away. Braylon Burnside, basket catch at the 45-yard line, and he'll get taken down right there.
Great job to catch it with the hands, going a little bit farther than he was expecting. He had to catch it from behind, but able to get it on first contact with his hands, and we got another flag on the play. It seems like we've got a quota.
Unsportsmanlike on Romeo.
I don't know if head coach Kurt Reines is keeping track, but the amount of penalties here when he gets the final number at the end of this game, I guarantee he won't be happy.
Actually, looks like it's going to be against Eisenhower. They had originally called it against Romeo, but they're moving backwards on Eisenhower back to the 30-yard line.
30-yard line.
We'll have an explanation from our head referee. Correction, we will not. It'll stay in the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 from there. Looks like they had Eisenhower has not enough linemen. Bullock in the shotgun. Clock rolling. We're at 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Bullock takes a snap. He'll hand it off. Running up the right side. That's Brody Kelsey, the junior.
And number 9, Brody Kelsey for the Eagles now. A great run.
Able to turn the corner upfield. A great rushing gain. Make it 2nd and short.
Again, look at the handoff there to Kelsey. He'll get about 5 on the carry. Bullock in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. He'll throw it. That's Duda, just too low.
That Bullock pass to keep Duda just out of his arms, incomplete.
That one just coming a little bit behind it. Came into high traffic where it could have potentially have been picked off, but just no good spot for the ball.
Bullock going to the sideline. Trying to get the play here. This is going to bring up 3rd down. 3 for 6 so far. You see some of the Eisenhower crowd braving the cold. Bullock looks like he's going to want to change the play here.
A lot of time here, Romeo defense trying to adjust.
Takes the snap. Just going to hand it off, trying to run up the middle is Brody, and he'll get enough for a 1st down. Brody Kelsey on the carry.
And number 9 once again.
Just bumping into a brick wall, able to basically redo the run, come back and cut up on the far side. able to get the first down and keep the chains moving for Eisenhower.
Marco Fodale looked like he was favoring his arm a little bit. Brings up first down and 10. Clock moving. We're under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Bullock in the shotgun. Again, just letting this clock run down. Wait for the back judge to let him know that the 10-second warning before he starts counting down. He's going to hand it off to Kelsey, and he's going to get taken down from behind. Austin Erickson with the tackle. He'll lose 3 yards on that play.
Great chase and great speed from Erickson on defensive line. As Kelsey showing a little bit of speed on the previous 2 rushes, but Erickson closing the distance and dropping him behind the backfield. We see here Tim Meyer putting in that work on the sideline. We appreciate you as part of our broadcast, our third member of the broadcast.
They'll break the huddle. Bullock in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tight end on the right side of the line. Clock moving under 44 seconds to go. Bullock, little reverse. That's Pettypool trying to dodge some tacklers. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage and more down to the 45-yard line. I think he got hit around the 35, 10 yards after first contact there.
And a couple of dominoes falling to let him have that last effort to get past the line of scrimmage. A couple of Bulldogs falling over as he's still running. Able to make it a gain.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter. Eisenhower extends their lead 44-7.
Yeah, and so far with the game being the way it was at halftime, the third quarter for Romeo still with a lot of the penalties. That frustration starting to boil over. This fourth quarter, their last opportunity this season to sharpen things up and at least keep some sportsmanship in it, as Eisenhower with the big lead most likely to continue into next week where they'll likely face Dakota. But it's going to be up to them to remain respectful to the game and to each other and see what they can do in this fourth quarter.
Just want to stay healthy, get out of this game, ready to play another one next week.
So Drumline putting the work in as well, braving the cold as well.
Again, you know, we get extra football games. That means extra marching band performances.
And no matter which way you're facing, the drum can still be beaten. Upside down, spun around, doesn't matter.
Here we go, 3rd down and 6. Bullock looking to throw, pass is caught. That's Keaton Duda. And he'll be right at that first down marker. And that will move the chains.
Josh Trzuski, number 83 for Romeo, giving that last hit where Duda had so much space, so almost like a very casual reception.
No, they're going to say that he went back himself. So that is 4th and 1 now instead of a 3rd down conversion.
And so not a forward progress situation. Having that last curl, taking the last step back, it gave the defense an opportunity to bring him down and make it to a 4th and 1. You're right.
They'll break the huddle. Bullock will go under center. trying to sneak it himself.
I'm not sure.
And they're going to say no. They're going to say his knee was down right at the 50-yard line. And the other way goes the ball, and Romeo gets it. 10:42 to go here.
Yeah, that one was close. Try and take a look here. Tough to see in real time. Luckily, us in the broadcast have the luxury of replay, but in real time, that one did look close. Had contact before reaching the line of scrimmage, so it looked like he was going to be pulled back. And the referees will give the Romeo crowd here, who has been a little disappointed for sure outside here in the cold, finally giving them another offensive possession to cheer on.
He'll hand the ball off, running up the left side. That's Troy Smith. And he'll get down to the 45-yard line. Gain of 5 on that play.
Troy Smith just doing it all for his team. Whether it's returning, whether it's receiving or rushing, you can bet he got the ball in his hands.
Great tackle there from Griffin DeMassey. 2nd down and 5. Clock moving. Just under 10 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. He'll hand the ball off up the middle, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Parker Cahoon.
Earlier in this game, Cahoon had a few good rushes and hard to take down. He would drag Eagles with him before going down, but in that first quarter, spending a lot of that time, it forced a fumble.
And they're going to get an encroachment call.
Dead ball, offsides, defense, 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
And that is the 3rd time that this Eisenhower defense has been called for encroachment.
There was a substitution error as well, trying to get one Eagle off the field before the ball was snapped. But giving this Romeo team an extra chance with a new set of downs.
First down and 10. Man in motion, that's Troy Smith. Looking to throw. No, he handed it off. Up the middle, that's Cahoon. And he'll get down to the 25-yard line. That's enough for another 1st down.
A huge rush. It fooled me, too. I thought they were dropping back for a pass, but little did we know that Cahoon was way up the field for a big 1st down.
And they'll hurry up to the line here. Hand off to Smith. Running up the left side, and he'll be taken down. Great tackle there. Believe that was Michael Legage.
Lakai on the tackle, but Romeo moving forward.
A late substitution, but it's a pass, a touchdown. 20 yards to Troy Smith.
That one's touchdown number 2 for Troy Smith. The man has been doing it all for the Bulldogs.
First time since the 1st quarter. This is probably going to be a late substitution.
Legal substitution, live ball, defense, plays good.
And that puts the Bulldogs back on the scoreboard the same way they got there the first time, from the quick feet and the great hands of Troy Smith.
Just finding that empty space there, getting away from his defender. Extra point is up, and it is good.
And number 3, Moreland splits the uprights for the extra
With
point.
7:53 to go,
Eagles 44.
Romeo gets back on the field, on the scoreboard, excuse me, 44-14. Let's take a minute. Let's go down to the field with Tim. Tim, what do you got?
Even when there's a rivalry like this and there's a blowout from one side to the other, there can be a lot of high emotions going on. And number 71, Carter Sutton, just lost it a few plays ago, got kicked out of the game for mouthing off to the referee. And number 28 for Eisenhower, Cooper Johnson, got a personal foul penalty for clapping in the face of the opposing player. So still, temperatures run high here. Emotions are running really high. hopefully we have a nice ending to this ball game.
Thank you, Tim, for the on-field reporting.
Yeah, and it's important to keep those emotions intact, have a good, respectful ending to this game. And for those players that are ejected and have those personal fouls, you leave the game and that's the biggest thing that's taken away. That's the biggest thing you remember is mistakes like that.
The kick is away and into the end zone. And in high school, once the ball is in the end zone, that is an automatic touchback. And so the Eagles take over at the 20-yard line.
Now a 30-point deficit here. The running clock rule is good for a 35-point lead. So now within that 35, the clock will go as normal, stopping in between plays and change of possession.
Bullock in the shotgun. Actually, no, we have a new quarterback. That's number 11, Jack Bellamo.
Jack Bellamo, number 11.
Number 11 now in at quarterback.
Second and 11 now.
He'll come
junior.
out. He'll come out as soon as it came in.
That was a loss of 1 on the play. Second down and 11. Now it looks like it's Nathaniel Edmonds. Getting some rotation in here. He'll hand it off, running up the middle. Looks like Nico Smith, the sophomore.
Nico Smith, number 35, right up the
He'll get down to the 25-yard line. He'll bring up another third down.
A lot of substitutions being had here, trying to rotate some of those secondary players onto the field, because it's not often that in a playoff game you get a chance to give those secondary players a lot of time on the field, because in the case where they have to go in, it's great to have this on-field experience, live game speed, essentially help out your teammates later in the season.
Third down and 5. Eisenhower 4 for 8 so far. That was Bellamo. He'll keep it himself. And he lost the ball in the tackle.
We'll see if they mark him down.
And they do. It's Romeo ball. That is a fumble for Bellamo.
Not good to see in your first few snaps on the field is to drop the ball and give it back to the Bulldogs, no matter what the score is. It's not a good look, something that will have to be reviewed and corrected later. But credit to the Romeo defense, able to try and strip the ball away. It was close to see if he was down before it came out. Again, the referees don't have the access to the replay that we do, so in real time, it's going to be up to their judgment, and it'll give it over to the Bulldogs with the short field. Trying to spring some new life and get some more points on the board for the Red.
6:06 to go. Bulldogs take over. Nettis takes a snap. He's going to throw over the middle, and it is deflected. Incomplete. Cooper Johnson on the deflection. Second down.
Great pass break up there, because that ball could have reached the end zone. Was looking for Joey Cacco. He could have turned around and head to the end zone on the first play after the turnover, but great pass breakup for Cooper Johnson.
Second down now. Nepa looking to throw. Over the middle, pass is caught. That's Joey Cacco. It's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Third down coming up.
Defense able to keep the pass short. Not tackled right after reception, but had to make a couple of moves, but defense swarming in, making it a short gain.
So far, Romeo 0 for 6 on third down. Neppa hands it off, running up the left side, and he gets finally pushed out inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line. That was Joey Battlementi.
Great rush, able to find the edge on our close sideline. A big gain to bring them even closer into the red zone. Now in an in-goal set of downs. Great run from Joey Badalamenti.
Handoff up the middle and into the end zone. Touchdown, Romeo. Aiden Hallebuck.
A bit of a struggle for the ball after. I don't know if Eisenhower thought they were able to strip it, but Hallebuck still able to put the points on the board for Romeo with a tough run. Check out the contact at the goal line. Able to truck an eagle on his way in to secure the score.
Extra point is up. And it is good. 5:10 to go. Romeo, 14 unanswered points. They are still down 44-21.
Take another look at that one. Hallebuck trucking his way into the end zone, and the extra point good for Joseph Salai, showing off the leg that he has for the soccer team. Is those extra points that he's had recently have gone sky high and away. Make it now 44-21, and Romeo scoring late.
As you see the Romeo band making the trek over here.
I've been wanting to mention this throughout the broadcast, but at the start of the game, as the teams are starting to get on the field, I heard a familiar tune of Pixar's The Incredibles. It's my favorite movie, I think the best Pixar movie, but they had a great performance of that main theme. That marching band making the trip over here to fire up their own crowd. They do a great job.
Salai kicks this one away, and that'll go into the end zone for a touchback. Eisenhower will take over from their own 20-yard line.
And a final result from Dakota and Utica. Dakota would come out with a win 31-0, setting up for that rematch with the Eagles coming up next week.
And by way of playoff points, they will be hosting that game next week.
And this time Dakota gets to play it on their turf in front of their home crowd, where last time they had to come here at Swinehart, and a couple of mistakes, a scoop and score in the first half being a big one to give Eisenhower the lead in that game. So this time Macomb Dakota will have the chance to do it on their own terms.
Handoff running up the right side, that's Brody Kelsey, and he'll get down to the 32-yard line, enough for a first down.
Been taking a lot of snaps here in the second half is Kelsey, and he's been doing a good job using his speed on some of these sweep plays. Following blockers, evading tackles before the secondary, able to wrap him up.
One thing, though, last time that we saw Eisenhower and Dakota, as we see some Eisenhower fans down on the sideline there, last time we saw it, they shut down Bryce Hurley. Bryce Hurley was not a factor in that game at all. Now there is no Bryce Hurley.
So they're going to have to face Mason Korn, who is, at least in this game here, proven to be a force to be reckoned with himself. But setting up to be a great matchup next week.
Edmonds just going to let this clock run down as long as it can. We're at 4:10. Takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to DeMassey, running up the left side, finding a lane to the 40, 45, and finally pushed out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
The senior getting a great run in the playoffs to move the chains. And showing a lot of speed and agility as well, following his blockers. Past the sticks and much farther.
Also great to see another senior getting some playing time, Griffin DeMassey.
taking a look ahead to the game against Dakota, I remember when we were covering that game here at Swinehart, I talked to a senior left tackle, Nick Battaglia, and he was telling me that their identity was a tough, physical, and disciplined team, and they have a lot of their success on the ground to set up the pass. Not able to do that against Eisenhower's defense the first time they matched up, so we'll see what they've been able to adjust and what they may be able to sharpen up on offense.
Handoff. That's Brody Kelsey trying to find some room on the right sideline to the 40, 35. Finally brought down inside of the 35 down to the 32-yard line. Another first down for the Eagles.
That last cut on the inside, letting him have an extra 5 yards on it, and he's been using his speed to get up the edge like we've been seeing. That cut right there, able to get past as we switch over to our other camera view for that big, big gain for Kelsey.
Clock moving, under 3 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter.
Daniel Edmonds coming into the huddle.
Again, taking as much time as they can. Edmonds takes the snap and the handoff. This is Nico Smith, and he's brought down after a gain of about 5. And we got another flag.
A big shot to take him down. Another penalty coming out. Haven't seen one in a little bit, but making a return before the end of the game.
Dead ball, personal foul, offense.
Looks like we're going to get a late hit, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, this one going against Eisenhower. Yeah, big hit to bring him down.
Couldn't see anything there.
It'll bring the ball back for Eisenhower. They got to get to the 23.5-yard line.
Clock rolls, 1:40 to go. Again, they can take as much time as they want here. The play clock is the back judge's rule here. He'll take the snap, hand it off. Trying to find some room is DeMassey, and he'll get down to the 37-yard line. Just over a minute to go.
Yeah, not able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but still able to turn the corner, stop and start, and fall forward as he was spun further down the field by his defender.
They'll probably only have to run one more play here. We're under a minute to go. The last remnants of the student section trying to get their team going. Low snap, Edmonds able to fall on it. But that'll probably be the last play of the game here. See if they decide to do anything, but they are going to line up for the handshakes. Big game from the Eisenhower Eagles, and they're going to move on to the second round. Giovanni, your final thoughts.
It's a game that started off close in both teams with a lot of fights, with it being tied at 7. But since then, Eisenhower is just letting it go. Breaking this game open, scoring so many points against a tough Romeo defense.